Hello everybody, it's Chaz B here. This is a follow-up to the previous video that I've done. The reason why I'm doing another one is because I have acquired new information. There are things that I do differently to what I used to do previously. And also, there's just new information I want to just share with you in general. And I feel that, if I make another video about it, this is the best way to do it. So, let's start. This video is more about how we're feeling and how conscious we are about our speech. The first video was about gaining control, and a big element of that is how conscious we are about our speech and what we are doing consciously to ensure that we have more control over it. But I'm not really going to go into the fact about we're gaining control and whatnot. This is just about our consciousness towards it. I think when you're trying to better your speech, to make it more fluid so that it can flow better, there always has to be some sort of a conscious response to that. We can't just let our bodies just deal with it, because that's how we get into this problem in the first place. The fact that we ourselves are not able to talk properly just by letting ourselves just do whatever, Consciously, one of the things that we need to do is we always need to monitor every step of what we're doing to help our speech. I had previously given exercises for people to try out, but I don't actually do those ones anymore. In fact, I've been doing a lot more research on how to better my projection and how to give speeches better and stuff. And I've been reading up on some stuff from Toastmasters actually, and they've given a wide array of exercises for me to try out, and I'm going to share that with you just now. It will be in the description box actually. Our mind plays a lot of tricks on us. I'm just going to say right now, our mind plays a lot of tricks on us. And it's true, it gives us a lot of doubt for when we want to try and do something, but because of past experiences, say, our mind isn't allowing us to do that. Like, let's say you're in a shop and there's somebody of the opposite sex that you want to talk to, but because in the past we've had some, let's say, difficult experiences with talking to people, we don't allow ourselves to bridge that gap because our mind is playing this trick on us and thinking, you know what, it's just easier if you didn't speak to them. And unfortunately, that is the reality of it. That's the reality of it for us anyway. And this is why, if we're consciously trying to bridge that gap, if we're consciously trying to challenge ourselves and to put ourselves out there, to put our comfort on the line, then we're making progress anyway, And I think that's why, when it comes to how fast we talk or how slow we talk, it is a conscious decision because we're changing the way that we speak. And I think from that perspective of it, we should always be thinking consciously about our decisions when it comes to what we do for our speech. If we just let our bodies just deal with the stuff anyway, if we just carry on normally, then we develop a routine pattern with our thinking and with our conscious thoughts when it comes to our speech. And so this is why it is important that you make a conscious decision to put yourself outside of your comfort zone and to take it step by step for whatever exercises you choose to do, for whatever ways that you feel that your speech is going to get better. I can only offer so much, but I can't offer everything. I can only offer stuff that works for me, but if you make those conscious decisions to do the work yourself and to put yourself out of your comfort zone, you're going to feel better about it anyway. At the time, you may feel kind of shit about it. You may kind of feel like, well, I feel terrible because I stuttered while doing this and I wasn't fluent while doing that. But honestly, that is not an issue because on the grand scheme of things, this is going to help you progress, it's going to help you get better. So it's more important for our development to be able to bridge that gap from where we are now to where we're going to be. In my last video, I had given some examples on how you could do slow rated speech, but I don't think I was too clear on how we can utilize that into everyday life. I think the meaning of it and the intention of it is the best intention for me anyway. And I think because it is slow rated and because we are consciously slowing ourselves down to get the words out, we are in most control of it by doing that. I think what's most important is we try our absolute best just to get one word out at a time. And well, what do I mean by this? I mean that if it takes you 10 seconds to say hello, then that's okay. It takes you 10 seconds to say hello. But the more you practice your breath control and getting the air out, you're going to shorten that time until you can just say hello like it's absolutely nothing. I'll show you what I mean, right? This is me trying to say hello right now, very slowly. Hello. If you're having difficulty with that, it will sound more like hello. But you just got to keep pushing through it. It's important that you keep pushing through it so that it's muscle memory for yourself. If I try and say another word, let's say it was garden. I wasn't very good, but it's a step forward because I can go garden or garden, because as long as we get past that first step, that is what we want. We want to get past that first step so we can say garden a bit better, and then the more control that you build up for it, you can just say garden like nothing. And I just want to say that was real. I did not make that stutter up. That was actually me stuttering there. I am only human as well. Another element of this is how we feel. I briefly touched on it in the last video, but I just want to expand on that a bit more now. You know, there is a reason why people say wait until you're in a better mood before you take some decisions. The reason why it is important for us to be in a better mood about things is because there's more of a tolerance for when things go wrong. You know, there's more room for maneuver, for practice, for us, that we are always trying to put ourselves into a positive mindset, into our happy place, you know? It may sound superficial, but honestly, it's true. Let's say, for example, you're in a club. You're always feeling happy when you're in a club because it's a social party vibe. Everybody loves a social party vibe. And for some reason, because we're all of a sudden very happy about things, very energetic about things, we have a bit more confidence. And when we have that confidence, we feel that we can do more with ourselves. And being conscious about your speaking will give you more confidence because you will know that you're in control. And the secret to happiness is knowing that there are things that you can control and things that you cannot. We worry so much about things that we cannot control. For example, how the other person responds to us, or how the other person listening to us will anticipate somebody stuttering. We cannot control that. All that we can do is control ourselves and how we speak, but we cannot control them. So that is why it's important to focus on us. But back to what I was saying though, if we're in this confident party mood, we will try and talk a bit more to people because we feel like there's more room to move around, there's more room for us to try, you know? So when we try and talk to somebody else, okay, it may be a bit faster than usual and you may stumble a few times, but how do you feel though when you're talking to somebody like that? It's like when you're around your best friends and you're talking to them, you're having fun with them, you're joking with them, watching a movie, you're drinking beers, whatever it is that you do around your friends. You suddenly feel like you're in the best mood possible because you're with people that you trust, you're with people that you love, you're having a great time, great experiences with other people that are close to you. We need to replicate that feeling every single time that we try and talk, or even just every single time in life anyway. I just want to reiterate the point about our feelings because how we feel is vital to how we perceive our speech and how we perceive our practice of trying to motivate ourselves to better our speech. And I think our mood is one half of the battle, but how we're consciously anticipating and tackling the problem is another. And I don't think a lot of people actually say this because it's kind of for us to figure out ourselves. We're given certain information and then you're to see how it fits around you. But I think when you try and break everything down to how we are as a person, the fact that there's feelings and then there's thoughts as well, and the fact that we're meant to be conscious of our thoughts, conscious of our decisions, so that we talk slower, if that helps you. And then there's our feelings in the way that, we're feeling very good when we're doing this. I am actually feeling brilliant now. I'm gonna admit, I don't know what it is about talking in front of a camera or just talking to people, that I just enjoy this. I enjoy this shit. And I hope that people can see that, actually. I hope that people are able to feel my energy from talking to you right now. One great speaker, Eric Thomas, actually, I filmed an interview with him, and one thing that he said, which I want to pass on to you, is never settle. Okay, so your speech is getting better and you're thinking more consciously, but don't settle for what you're doing just now. You got to keep pushing yourself further. Okay, so you stuttered 3 times when you used to stutter 10 times. That is brilliant, well done. Now try and get it to 1 time per sentence, or even no times per sentence, or even no times for a few sentences. You just gotta keep pushing yourself, keep motivating yourself. And that is the human condition. We're always striving to be better than the person that we are already. If we just all settled, then we just wouldn't progress. We just wouldn't advance. We got to get past this element of fear. This fear that we get when we're talking to people, or even just when we're talking in general. It's all up in here. It's another mind trick. It's our mind playing more games on us because we've had other experiences where we have felt this fear and we've always ducked out. You just can't give in to that fear. You just got to push yourself and realize what you can do. Not what you're doing, but what you can do, what you can be, what your potential is. Not even just what your potential is, but how far you can go, knowing what potential that you have. You can keep getting better, and I can't just keep stressing this because, well, there's only so much that I can say about it. One of the most difficult things for us as people who have a stutter is we find it very difficult to adapt to other people's time frame. And in that way, it's like if everybody around you is talking really fast, but you're trying to talk really fast to keep up with them, but you stutter and you stumble and such, then we don't feel good, because the more that we stutter, the more that we stumble, the less that we feel good about ourselves. But the main point that I want to just express about this is time is on our side. It's true. Time is on our side, because it is about how we feel about our speech and what we are trying to do to combat the issues that we have. It's not about them. If they really have a problem with your speech, you would not be hanging around them, or vice versa. They would not be hanging around with you for whatever reason that would be. And I think in that respect, the fact that we are trying to get the word out and it's taking a bit longer than usual, especially if you're trying to do slow rated speech, but they don't have the patience or they don't have the time, then fuck them. It's not about them, it's about you. And I think that's what a lot of people get misconstrued, because we're always trying to fit to their time. We're always trying to order some fast food while talking really fast because there's a big line behind us and we don't want to cause an inconvenience. But the point is, it's about how we feel. It's about us. We can be selfish about this. It is okay to be selfish about this, because if we're not selfish about it, if we're not being proactive and trying to better our speech, then we're just going to get worse. And I think if we keep playing up to other people's time frame and keep playing up to what they want us to do in terms of how fast that we talk or how smoothly things are done, then fuck them. We don't need them. You just need to focus on yourself and the things that you are doing to get your speech better. And that is the honest truth. I can't put it to you any more bluntly. After the first video, I had a great response. I've had a lot of people messaging me telling me that their video has helped them overcome their speech, to feel better about their speech. I've had people messaging me asking me about how they can get their speech better, what's the next step. And I wanted this time to try give more authentic information, something a bit different from the last time, I think the last one was very general, very all-rounded, so that there was always something for people to digest from all possible angles. But I think this time I've kind of focused more on one element, which is our feelings and our consciousness towards our speech. That is one element on how we can gain control, because that is ultimately what we want to do. We want to gain control of our speech. We want to try and eradicate our stutter consciously. I think as humans, we're kind of at the stage where we have this stutter. If we don't do anything about it, it's always going to be there. So it's always got to be a decision on our part to try and eliminate it, to try and make sure that it has very little presence in our life as we know it, very little presence in the interactions that you have with people, with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, even ordering things from a shop, even on the phone. I just want to say, for your information, I enjoy making these. I enjoy helping people with a problem that I have. I've not completely eliminated my stutter, but considering from where I have been before to where I am now, I've done a pretty good job of making sure it has very little presence in my life. And I really enjoy making these so I can help others to eliminate their stutter, or for their stutter to have very little presence in their life as well. And just as general feedback, if I was to make a web series of this, if I was to make more episodes, like shorter episodes with information and advice and stuff, would that be something that you guys would consider? If it is something that you guys would consider, then please write a comment in the comment box. I think for me to know if I'm doing a good job of helping or teaching or whatever way you want to interpret this, it will then encourage me to keep making these. And in actual fact, making these videos as well also helps me as well. It also helps me to reiterate and reaffirm things that I can do myself, that I can practice on, because I'm not perfect either. You know, I still go through every struggle that you probably go through, and making these videos helps me to consciously practice other exercises and stuff. So once again, I just want to say, thank you very much for watching this. I've appreciated the good response I had for the first video, and I hope that I can get the same response for this video as well. If you have any questions, actually, you can email me, chazb@outlook.com. I'll be happy to respond to anybody who sends me a message regarding this video. And be on the lookout for more of these. It's actually been a full year since I've done the first video actually. So I hope that this is a good follow-up to that one. So this is Chaz B. See you guys later. Peace.